The father who abandoned me was murdered. Now his will forces me home to run his company, but the letter he left warns me I am next. Your father was murdered, Miss Pierce, and according to his will, you now own everything. His mansion, his multi-million-dollar company, everything. But you have exactly 30 days to move back to Oakwood Falls, or you forfeit it all. The lawyer's words hit me like a freight train as I stood frozen in my tiny New York apartment, still holding the door open. I hadn't spoken to my father in 7 years. Now Richard Pierce was dead, and apparently I was his sole heir. This has to be some kind of mistake, I said, my voice barely a whisper. My father wouldn't leave me anything. The lawyer Harold Jenkins, according to the business card he'd handed me, adjusted his glasses and gave me a sympathetic smile. I assure you, Miss Pierce, here is no mistake. Your father was very explicit in his will. You inherit everything, but only if you return to Oakwood Falls within 7 days and remain there for at least 1 year to personally run Pierce and Jesse's. I let out a bitter laugh. So he's controlling me from the grave. Calictip Richard Pierce. Here is one more thing, Mr. Jenkins said, pulling out an envelope from his briefcase. He instructed me to give it to you personally. I took the envelope with trembling hands. My name, Amelia, was written on the front in my father's unmistakable handwriting. I hadn't seen it in years, but I'd recognize those sharp, precise strokes anywhere. I'll need your answer by Friday, Mr. Jenkins said, heading for the door. The board of directors is meeting on Monday, and they'll need to know if they should prepare for your arrival or begin liquidation proceedings. Liquidation? I asked, surprised. What happens if I don't accept? Then everything gets sold and the proceeds go to charity. For what it's worth, Miss Pierce, your father spoke very highly of you in our last meeting. He believed you were the only one who could save his legacy. After he left, I slumped onto my couch, the unopened letter burning a hole in my hand. My father, the great Richard Pierce, business mogul and absentee parent, was dead, murdered, and somehow I was supposed to drop everything and move back to the town I'd escaped 7 years ago. I glanced around my cramped apartment at the half-finished illustrations scattered across my desk, the empty takeout containers piling up in the trash. My life in New York wasn't exactly glamorous, but I built it myself, far from my father's influence. The thought of going back to Oakwood Falls made my stomach churn, but curiosity got the better of me. I tore open the envelope and unfolded my father's letter. Dia Amelia *sin. If you are reading this, then I am gone, and Harold has informed you of my will. I know you probably hate me, and you have every right to I wasn't the father you deserved, but there are things happening at Pierce Addresses, dangerous things, that I couldn't tell anyone about. I've made enemies, powerful ones. I believe they're going to kill me. **, you are the only one I can trust with this. Come home, Amelia, look deeper than the surface. Not everything is as it seems. The truth is in the east wing behind the painting of your mother. **, I know I have no right to ask anything of you, but this is bigger than our broken relationship. People's lives are at stake. *, whether you believe it or not, I've always been proud of you. *, your father. *, Richard. I read the letter 3 times, a cold feeling spreading through my chest. My father had predicted his own murder, and now he was asking for my help from beyond the grave. I reached for my phone and found Mr. Jenkins' number on his card. Tell the board I'll be there on Monday, I said as soon as he answered. I am coming back to Oakwood Falls. 24 hours later, I was on a plane heading back to the town. I'd swore never to return to my entire life packed into 2 suitcases. As the plane began its descent, I stared out the window at the rolling green hills surrounding Oakwood Falls, a knot forming in my stomach. Whatever secrets my father had been keeping, I was about to walk right into the middle of them.